But the idea started from a book that my father gave me a long time ago called Pandemonium, which is a collection of letters from the 1600s through the 1800s about the coming of the machine age. And they're letters and diary entries and little articles from newspapers, all different kinds of short form documents about various kinds of people observing the beginnings of the coming of the machine. So it's an interesting kind of pointillistic. It's not a complete story. It's a pointillistic story of different, very specific little aspects. One person describing a printing press. One person describing a boy that they knew that built on his own an exact replica of a mill that he had seen built in town, and kind of put a mouse in it to find, all these very specific little bits of stories that clearly were when you put them all together, you see a whole society changing. But each story is just about one little aspect of one person's head changing and being shifted by seeing technology come. And this book has always been kind of seemed like such an interesting document to me, because especially now when our lives are changing even faster because of technology. So the challenge is writing for you guys who are wonderful improvisers. And when I think about what's satisfying to me about a project like my duo with Satoko Fuji, what's satisfying about it is that it's so based on our personal language, and no one could tell us how to access that. No one could kind of articulate, here's the notes I want you to play. Here's that would bypass all of the magic of what makes it special to be an improviser with her. And you guys have such a decades of a built up language together that it seems like the task is to figure out how to tap into that and just give it frames, but not dictate the content in a very specific way. But when my idea of string quartet is kind of rooted in classical string quartets, because that's such an important part of my growing up was playing with classical string quartets. But this was really I had to find a kind of a way of accessing my intuitive kind of knowledge of the sound of quartet with a kind of different approach of framing ideas.